as always, it's Brandon Gaudin and Charles Davis.
EA Sports coverage of the National Football League brings us to Western Pennsylvania and Heinz Field in the Steel City of Pittsburgh. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Oakland Raiders and the Pittsburgh Steelers. Brandon Gaudin, Charles Davis, happy to be back alongside you. And I'll tell you what, yes, it's just week 2 of the preseason, but now they've got one game under their belts, and a lot of guys trying to prove some stuff down on the field here today.
Not only that, these coaches like to win. And I used to think it really didn't matter who won in the preseason. Then I watched some of those shows that the NFL does, and you see the coaches in preseason after a loss jumping all over their guys. So I learned one valuable lesson. Wins and losses count no matter what time of year it is.
Here we go from Heinz Field as Chris Boswell tees it up and boots it away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. So here comes the Raider offense now onto the field. As we get a peek at the former number 2 overall pick, Mitchell Trubisky. And he will lose yardage here back at the 23-yard line. Call it officially a loss of 2 on the first play from scrimmage. Second down. A pass for negative yardage. Obviously no good. Maybe he shouldn't have thrown it, or maybe he shouldn't have caught it.
And I think we were seeing it at the same time, weren't we? Maybe you let that one go, right? Because you can see the lost yardage about to develop, but that goes against every instinct of a receiver. They're taught to catch everything. So it's really hard to be mad at him and yell at him for trying to make that play.
Now a throw here on second down, and that's complete. And he'll get this one way up just shy of the 45-yard line. That good for 21 yards on the catch and run. First carry for Josh Jacobs. Stephon Tuitt, the one that got him down.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
On second down, Jacobs. He's got the first down and more inside the 40. 20. And all the way in. Touchdown, Oakland. Josh Jacobs, 55 yards, as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. You talk about explosion plays. There's one pretty much right out of the gate.
And now they get to ride a wave of emotion, momentum, everything. Just as you described, right out of the gate. Big sprint, touchdown. They're excited. But on the other side, they've got to guard against a major letdown because they hit them right in the gut with that one. And now you start to question yourself a little bit when you give up a touchdown on the opening drive.
Let's go! The Steelers take over first and 10. Check. No. He's counting.
Now the first carry for Le'Veon Bell. And not much. Maybe a yard up to the 29.
Early down stuff to put this offense in a precarious position. We know that securing the point of attack, especially against the big-bodied guys in the middle of this D, has got to be priority one.
Looking to throw on second down. Newman nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Eric Armstead, the defensive end, will get credited for the sack. Throwing on third and long. Newman, and he'll find Washington. That's complete. And they're going to get this beyond the 40 before he's taken down. A nice pickup of 23 on the third down conversion.
I know at the end of games, coaches always tell us that no one play won or lost a game. But this seems pretty important early, doesn't it? Their ability to pick up that first down on third down, I thought that was key.
Well, you're already in the hole after the touchdown on the other side. How will you respond? We talk about that a lot, and they responded pretty well there. You go 3 and out, I think you give up a lot of momentum. You get down 2 scores, could be an entirely different game.
So they've got a nice drive going now. They're in good shape. What's interesting to me is they're also in that spot of the field where you would take a shot. Do you change that up just because you're down a touchdown?
The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9. Operating from the gun. Newman. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Maurice Hurst, the defensive tackle, getting in there for a loss of 5.
Single, slot. Hey, you're on an option.
Throwing on third and long. Newman. That ball caught by the former Toledo Rocket, Deontay Johnson. And he's going to have another first down as the tackle comes at the Raiders' 35.
Well, for teams that like to play man coverage, running corner routes can be tough on them because of the ability of getting into it. Sometimes you're squaring it off. Sometimes you're just rounding it. Sometimes there's a fake. Sometimes there's not. That makes it very, very difficult for a DB to stay with it.
On first down, Newman, a screen to Bell. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. The Steeler first down on a pickup of 11 yards.
I like the screen being called here early in the game, especially on the opening drive, because, Brandon, when guys come out of the locker room, especially as pass rushers, they are so amped up to get to the quarterback that you can use that against them, and a screen pass is a great way of doing it.
And he's in. Touchdown, Steelers. A 24-yard touchdown as his guys are on the board here in this first quarter.
An excellent, long, sustained offensive drive. And now they can look across the field and see a defense that looks a little bit beaten down. Right now, as an offensive coordinator, you're thinking to yourself, can I dial up the knockout punch?
Extra point put through by Boswell. And we are tied at 7. So that drive takes him down the field in 8 plays. And it ends with a Pittsburgh touchdown. Each team's had it. Each team has scored. 7-7 here as the kick's away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And now Oakland ready to take the field. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
A run there on first down gets him a yard to the 26. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9. And a look at the Steelers' defensive unit.
When talking about Cameron Hayward, I think it's a mistake if people just describe him as a base defensive end, because, yes, he does hold up well against the running game and holds the point of attack, but I think he also has very good pass rush moves as he makes his way towards the quarterback. I know many people like to throw to the tight end, maybe in a little flexed out position because he creates mismatches with his size. But slot receivers do the same thing with their quickness, their speed, and their route running savvy.
From the gun on third down, it's Trubisky. Able to find Waller. That's complete. First time that they called his number tonight, and it gets him a first down.
And he's the epitome of what we call the move tight end, a guy that you can line up anywhere, in the slot, out wide, in tight, doesn't really matter because he has such great skills. You want to utilize him in all aspects of your passing offense.
And there he was in the slot for the catch. And he'll be brought down somewhat awkwardly here, and a late flag as well. I think this one's going to be a face mask. So that flag will cost him 15.
And it doesn't matter anymore how you get the face mask. Any part of it, that's going to be 15 yards.
And now it's 1st and 10. A big mistake, especially when you factor in the personal foul yardage. These two teams all tied after one. From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10.
Check 50, check 50.
Here's Jacobs on 1st and 10. He'll get the first down and more inside the 20. And down to the 7-yard line.
We got this.
25 yards to pick up there, and also a first down.
Boy, he does it at a high level, doesn't he? Because when I watch him, I think of his vision. Straight ahead, peripheral. Also has that sense of where holes are going to be before they actually open.
And he is in. Touchdown, Raiders. A 7-yard touchdown grab. And the Raiders have taken the lead. And after working on it all week, they're able to punch it in from the goal line.
Nothing like good preparation and even better execution.
Hopkins with the extra point, and that makes the score 14-7. So that drive spanned 5 plays, and it winds up in 6 points for the Raiders. This will be taken in at the 1. And he'll get it up past the 20 to the 22-yard line.
Let's go.
The Pittsburgh offense at the line to start their next drive. They trail a 1-score deficit, 14-7, as they come up 1st and 10. Now a pass dropped off here for James White. And he'll be upended here after a pickup of 3, getting it out to the 25. That first down completion only netted him 3. 2nd and 7. Here's Bell. And not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 26.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
Now throwing on 3rd down there, but he cannot connect. As we thought they might do here in week 2 of the preseason, they've left their starting quarterback out there for this second quarter, but I would imagine we will not see him after halftime.
Yeah, this is the time of year you've got to get your backup some reps and make sure you protect your starting quarterback.
And he finds Cook, and they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. The Steelers able to pick up 18 yards there. A pair of first downs gives him a 1st and 10 up at the 44. Bell. And he'll only get a yard, maybe 2, up to the 46.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, this big defensive lineman will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
On 2nd down now, it's Bell. And this will be taken across midfield and into Raider territory.
Even though they gave up more than they wanted to on that play, it actually illustrates how well they bottled him up throughout the game because that was his longest run of this contest.
Back to throw. Newman. It's complete. James White. And he has the first down yardage before they bring him down right at the 45. Now a first down carry by Bell. And they will stop him after a fairly minimal pickup. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9. Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run.
Let's go, D. Let's go.
Mike, check, 59. So we got man.
2nd and 9 now. And that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's 3rd down. You know, during these preseason games, we're in week 2 right now, it's always funny looking at our spot charts up here in the booth because with all the guys that might play in this one, it seems to get bigger and bigger each year.
Yeah, we pretty much supersize them, don't we? Because, you know, remember, they're carrying 90 now. And with the new rules, they'll carry 90 all the way through the preseason before they make the final cut. Oh, yeah, a lot of guys to learn for these games.
And now the 3rd down throw incomplete as well.
So now here in the 2nd week of the preseason, you'd expect the starters to play a little bit more than they did in week 1, but not a whole lot.
So if you're an offensive coordinator, what are you looking for?
What you're looking for is things getting cleaned up as you go along because most of your playbook's probably installed. How well are they handling it? Easy in and out of the huddle? No mental mistakes? Are they starting to look like a good offensive football team?
And he'll have a tough time living that one down. It's one thing, Charles, to drop a pass. It's quite another to drop it on 4th down.
And so many teams work on that in terms of locking in on those key downs. You know, you and I both been to practices where we've seen, hey, 3rd down situation, big 3rd down alert, lock in here. 4th down play, make sure you're focused just a little bit extra. It didn't pay off in that situation.
Throwing on 2nd and 8, Trubisky, and his throw here's incomplete. Robert Woods, former USC man, the intended target, but now it's 3rd down.
Oh, man, that was close. The opportunity to change momentum, big play, right in his hands, unable to come down with it.
A sigh of relief, no doubt, on offense that fell harmlessly to the ground. Here's Trubisky to throw. This pass complete to Reynolds. And he'll work it across midfield inside the 45. That one will go as a gain of 11. Raiders having a first down as well.
I got you.
On 1st and 10, it's Trubisky. Now they go screen. It's complete. And he'll go out of bounds inside the 15-yard line. That one goes for 30 yards.
I know we love our jobs, and pretty much any play we see, we're pretty, excited about. But big plays, let's face it, that's what we absolutely live for. How about that one?
That was great. And what our camera missed was the fist pump from the sideline after that catch. They're fired out. That's a big game. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up 2nd down.
Many teams, as soon as they spot man defense, if they haven't called a hitch, they'll get to it as fast as they can. They want to put the ball in the hands of one of their best playmakers and hope that he can break a tackle on the outside and go for big yardage.
Flushed, and he is going to go down. Back at the 11-yard line. The Raiders going to use one of their timeouts as the stoppage will come with a little under a minute to go in this first half. On 3rd down, Trubisky. That's complete to his tight end, Waller. And he will not be able to get the first as he can get this only down to the 5. Now the Steelers use the first of their 3 timeouts as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half. And the 10-year vet knocks it through the goalpost, and they will move up by 10 now, 17-7. A good drive gets them inside the 5, but they could not punch it in.
And credit the defense, too. Make sure that happens because that was the old bend but don't break approach. Made sure they contained them when they absolutely had to and forced the field goal attempt that went through.
Pittsburgh's offense now heading back out onto the field. And you're under a minute to go in the half, a first half that hasn't been particularly kind to you. How do you think they'll play this?
Well, I think the smart approach Just to run out the clock, lick your wounds at the half, and see if you can come up with a strategy to play better in the second. But there's also something to challenging your offense right here. You know, hey, guys, you help dig this hole. See if you can get us out of it a little bit before the half runs out. Let's go make some plays.
Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10. He's going to launch it for one. This is intercepted. Picked up by J.C. Jackson. And they're going to take over right there at the 22-yard line. The Raider offense set to get this drive started. You've got less than 30 seconds left here in the half. You're well on your own side of the field. What are we doing here, Coach Davis?
Well, I'm trying something on first down, and it's something that's safe. It's something that's been done many times before. A lot of people say it's not even worth trying, but I'm running a draw. I'm running a screen. I'm seeing if something pops. And if it does, that can alter my strategy and potentially get me some points. And if it doesn't work, well, then you just run the clock out and go to the locker room.
They'll keep it on the ground again here. And he'll just keep two hands on the football as he'll be taken down after a short pickup. Now the Steelers going to use their third and final timeout as it'll come with 15 seconds to play in the first half. Once again, they'll keep it on the ground. And they will get to him behind the line, but the clock continues to tick down. Just a 2-yard pickup, and that should necessitate a call for the punt team here on 4th down.
So where'd all that running room that he had in the first half go? Because it looks like it's drying up a little bit here. Someone made some adjustments, it appears, at least on this drive.
Expect to see a good number of backups going forward as we are back and underway here in preseason week 2. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. The Steeler offense now with a football first here to begin the third quarter. They have the ball here for the inaugural drive of the second half. Pretty big deficit, though. We'll see what adjustments were made in that locker room.
And I never want to make something more important than it actually is, right? I don't want to create more hype than what is there. But this is I'm doing it, though. This is a really important drive. And we often talk about teams scripting plays to start a game. A lot of them script to start the second half, too. And they're scripting something that they expect to get them into the end zone and back into this game.
We'll see if that script is a good one for them. A second down play results in a loss of 2 yards. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. And now a first chance for the backup here to throw. And the throw there going to be incomplete. So coming up empty here to start the third quarter. Already 2 scores down. Got to be careful.
Yeah, I did notice, though, that the captain of the defense patted the quarterback on the helmet on his way out, pretty much letting him know, we know the pressure's on us. We're going to go out there and try and hold serve for you while you figure it out over here on the sidelines.
We'll call that a punt at 54 yards. Well struck. And the Raiders will take over now 1st and 10.
Go now. 70, Indy. 54.
And here comes throw number 1 for the backup QB. And a quick throw here, that's complete. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch.
Nice rhythm throw there on 1st down. He located his tight end, made it a nice easy pitch and catch.
Hoping he can break a tackle or two. Wasn't able to do that there, but still good yardage. 2nd and 3. He'll have a first down past the 40. And he'll get this all the way up to the 42-yard line. A Raider first down, 17 yards.
Get ready. 10 yards.
First down,
Quick hitter here, it's complete. A loss of 2 there, 2nd down.
If you're a selfish player and you're throwing the ball, you're cool with the completion. Maybe not so cool with the yardage loss, though, huh?
Yeah, you went backwards on the yardage. Hey, it kind of works like a sack for the defense there.
Yeah, it's a really big play for them, right? Able to figure.
That's caught inside the 20. A big play that time for the Raiders. 43 yards. I guess that answers the question of whether or not they're going to try to play conservative and protect this lead in the third quarter.
And I think this is something we're seeing more and more of in the NFL. Teams not playing to protect leads, teams playing to extend them.
And the head coach reaches for the red flag, tosses it down on the field. He wants a challenge here.
Let's go!
A gain on the play. First down.
Well, he challenged the play. It did not pay off.
And that means he lost a timeout in that challenge.
And as a coach, you hate that. Don't know if you took the advice of the player, you threw it yourself, but it didn't go your way.
At the end of the day, it all comes back to the head coach. He has the final determination on whether to actually challenge the play or not. In this case, it didn't pay off for him.
And that's got to be so heartbreaking. You throw that flag, you probably feel really confident, and then all of a sudden, boom, you lose the challenge.
Yeah, when you take a look at it, you're throwing that flag because you believe you're going to be right. And when it comes back the other way, you have to regroup.
They'll keep it on the ground. Dillon, and not much to speak of there. Maybe a yard down to the 20.
Well, they certainly had success throwing the ball on this drive, and not as much running it as we just saw once again on that last play, stopped after a very short gain. But I wouldn't abandon the run totally, because otherwise, pass rushers just tee off on your quarterback. Makes it very, very difficult for him in that situation.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And he'll get it here to the 10-yard line. They pick up 10, but it'll still lead to a 4th down. Instead of throwing it downfield, Charles, they just tried to dump it underneath there. You like the call?
I do. I think it's a high percentage play because you get the completion. What you're counting on is your back to use his legs and his elusiveness to make people miss and pick up the first down. In this case, it didn't happen.
So they put together a good little drive there, but ultimately stalling out in the red zone.
Yeah, I know a lot of people look at it as a little bit of a negative. They didn't get 6 points out of it, right? Didn't get the touchdown. But that's actually okay. They got 3 points. Able to give their defense a little bit of rest, let them settle down over there. So all in all, to me, that's a good drive.
And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field. And here we are almost through 3 quarters of play, and this passing game still has not really found any kind of rhythm.
Put it mildly, because they're not even over 100 yards yet. And in today's NFL, where it's a pass-first league, that is quite surprising. Not many teams patient enough to stick with the run. Everybody wants to advance the ball through the air. They've got to get their timing back.
Call it a gain of 4 on 1st, and that'll make it 2nd down. They run again with Logan. Call it a gain of a couple, and that's going to leave them with a 3rd and about 5.
Definitely too early to panic, but that is his 4th carry of the game, and collectively has in total 10 yards. So maybe there's no panic, but maybe some concern.
And maybe a little concern up front because they're not giving him any space right now. Now the throw on 3rd down, knocked away and incomplete.
And we're into the second half now, and this is an offense that continues to struggle to sustain a drive.
Looks like they're just totally out of sync, whether they're running the ball, passing the ball like we saw there. I don't know. The rhythm seems off. They're going to try and throw, but it's brought in by Washington. And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. That pickup goes for 25. What a flip of the script from 4th down to 1st.
And that's a big pickup of a 1st down. And you know that all week, both sides of the ball, offense and defense, are going through every situation. And in this case, the offensive guys had the right play dialed up because defensively, you work on 4th down situations as well.
And deflating for the defense. They can't get the stop here. 12 yards that time and a Pittsburgh 1st. So 1st and 10 now from the 30. Here's Morgan. Off play action. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Maurice Hurst able to drop him that time for his 2nd sack of the evening. Back now in Pittsburgh. It's the Steelers with the football, but trailing here as we get going in quarter number 4. 1 quarter remains here in this Thursday night matchup. We'll return with more preseason football on EA Sports. Well, they're in some hot water now. After that sack, it's 2nd and 21. Looking to throw. Morgan. High throw, but the catch is made.
Complete to number 87. It's a gain of 19 and brings up 3rd down.
The Steelers on 3rd down. 3 for 7 so far in this game. Here it's 3rd and 2. Now Morgan operating from the gun. Looking left side, and he's got a man. It's Logan. And he picks up the first down yardage as he takes this one down to the 15. Give him 6 yards in the first down. This quarterback now 4 of 6 since taking over, and he's got a first down. From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. And nowhere to fit that football in. It's knocked away and incomplete. Ryan Switzer, the intended target. But it'll be 2nd down.
It's always a battle. Who's going to win on first down, the offense or the defense? Let's face it, if you've got the ball, 4 yards or more on first down is what you're aiming for. They tried to throw for it there. Nice effort to knock that one away and bring up 2nd down.
Yeah, he's got it. And all the way down inside the 5 to the 4. The passing game in rhythm right now for Pittsburgh. There's another first down. They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he'll be brought down. Oh, that's a face mask. Certainly looked like it. Indeed, here come the flags.
Defense.
Well, when you're leading in the 4th quarter, that's not the penalty you want.
Not at all, and now your discipline comes into question. Having poise this stage of the game, you can't have those kind of plays.
So the ball's moved to about the 1 after the penalty, 1st and goal.
Rock it. Look at me. Go.
They'll try to run this one in. And he's in. Touchdown, Pittsburgh. Punching it in from a yard away as his guys are back within a single score. Now, let's not forget that was all set up by the 4th down conversion earlier in the drive.
Would have been a complete letdown if the drive doesn't culminate this way, wouldn't it? If you're going to go for it on 4th down, your intention is to make sure you get a touchdown out of the drive, and that's exactly what they did. Converted, and it converted a 2nd time for 6 points.
Boswell good with the extra point. And now things get a bit more interesting here in this 4th quarter. A pretty long drive that time. 11 plays all told. And it ends with a 1-yard touchdown run. Boswell now to kick it away after the touchdown. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Raiders offense now making their way back out onto the field. They're holding on right now to that slim advantage in a 1-score game. And you hear a lot about 2-minute offense and 4-minute offense. Obviously, the 4-minute offense applies here. How do they run that effectively?
You know what the 4-minute offense is you're just trying to grind the clock. So you want consistent gains, steady gains. Doesn't have to be big plays, but it has to be plays that kicks first downs and keeps the ball away from your opponent.
But certainly throwing the ball is in the mix here.
It certainly is. Just make sure that you're careful with it. And again, get those first downs, keep possession of the football.
After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11.
Watch the screen.
They'll keep it on the ground. Dillon. And from the 25, they work this to the 29, a gain of 4.
That's it. That's what you want. Straight ahead positive gain. Just keep that clock ticking.
One of the bigger plays in the game thus far, and the crowd getting into it as we come up on a big 3rd down. Back to throw. Bailey. And the defense loses him. It's complete. And all the way in. Touchdown, Oakland. A big play there. 71 yards. And the Raiders able to extend that advantage. And now they'll empty the backfield here as they elect to go for 2. He for quite a bit of air underneath that touchdown pass. Of course, we knew that he had the strong arm.
That part was easy. You could see that throughout his college career. But what you want to know about a rookie is when the pressure's on, can you throw with touch? He just did right there. And, boy, it was pretty.
This is taken at the 3. And he'll bring it a few past the 20 to the 23-yard line. And now out come the Steelers. And that last drive, a long drive, but not just that. They had a great air attack going. Did they stick with that?
I would think that they would, because if they were confident enough to do it on the last drive, starting backed up in their own territory, why would you change anything? They've got to be confident about what they're presenting and continue to do so.
Yeah, because the secondary, they really look clueless.
And that was amazing because that drive went and went, no adjustments, and no big plays by the defense to knock the ball away.
The Steelers signal for the second of their timeouts. That's going to leave them with just one remaining here in this fourth quarter. 3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7.
What we got?
Morgan off the play fake. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. The sack coming from defensive end Cameron Jordan.
Watch 36. Leo. Tighten up.
To throw is Morgan. Throwing on 3rd and long. And the pressure gets to him again. Cameron Jordan, his 2nd sack of the night.
My man, it's been a rough night for that offensive line, and it's only getting rougher. 5 sacks now that they've given up in this contest so far. It feels like the witching hour out here, doesn't it?
Okay, stupid question. What's the witching hour?
Yeah, the witching hour. That's when everything goes haywire late at night.
Hey, wahoo!
Morgan now. Throwing on 4th down. He's going to float this one deep right. And this is intercepted. And that should do it. Picked off at the 14. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. On 4th down, that turned out like a punt. Maybe he was better defensively there just to knock it down.
And you know they go over those situations. All right, 4th down. Where's the ball? Where would we get the ball? But instinct takes over, and when it's in the air, they just go and get it. So it's hard to get on him for intercepting it, but the smart play would have been what you suggested. Knock it down and take over in a deeper position.
They try to run on 1st down, but this defense says no dice. They stop him a couple yards behind the line of scrimmage. So it's Raider football as we get you reset. And you'd have to figure they're just looking to burn these final 2 minutes away and get out of here with a victory. They'll keep it on the ground. Dillon. And not much here as he'll get it to the 11, maybe the 12-yard line. The 2nd down play, not much better than the first, just a gain of 1 there.
Hey, got four down. Ready?
On 3rd down, Dillon. And he's going to lose yardage here back at the 8. Now the Steelers going to use their 3rd and final timeout as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. Here's Pat O'Donnell now, as his first punt will come from inside his own end zone. A well-hit ball there. 50 yards on the punt, 3 on the return. And the Steelers will go on offense here, 1st and 10. So now the Steelers down on the scoreboard. 65 seconds remaining. You can't say the preseason isn't interesting. This has been great as they come up 1st and 10. Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete. Looking to erase a 2-score deficit here in the 4th quarter. Going for some big plays.
Yeah, they certainly were. They just decided one shot, didn't they? Forget trying to move the ball downfield in small little increments. Let's go for the big one. But how about the defense playing?
Nowhere to go here. He lost the football.
Plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back. Because this is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him, Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the...
And this is intercepted, and that should do it. Trevor Williams with a pick, and he will return this one to the 30-yard line.
Face mask. Defense.
They're down here in the fourth, and that personal foul penalty is not going to help.
No, in these types of situations, players will tell you that's extra intensity. From where we sit, it's actually frustration. Not a good play.
Maybe a critical mistake at this juncture is now they've got a 1st and 10.
Check the backer, check the backer.
The Raiders likely going to get out of this with a victory as they take a knee. Well, partner, it's just preseason, but it always feels good to be in victory formation, taking the knee for the W.
Yeah, I've often thought to myself when I watch these preseason games, some teams need the wins more than others. You know, if you're established and you're used to winning, not quite the same. But if you're trying to learn how to win, it's important to get it done.